Shalom, shalom, brothers. This is your brother, I pray, Yahya Bandele. Welcome you to the Kofa Network. This is the place where we train evangelists for apocalyptic ministry. It is certainly a privilege and a pleasure that you guys have seen fit to come and watch this short video with me. Brothers and sisters, we're coming into some treacherous times, and it's important for all of us to understand that, you know, during this time, these last 50 years from 1964 to 2014 today, is that the Father has given us a minimal opportunity to seek His face, to read and study, to have civil rights in this land called America. And as America went, so does the rest of the world. This is why civil rights and human rights spread throughout the globe within these last 50 years. You see the fall of communism, the fall of apartheid, the fall of Jim Crow laws, and so they followed suit what America did. Now America is shutting everything down, taking away not only doing away with the civil rights that the so-called Negro enjoyed, but also the rights of all people. And so, but as we see the rights of us going away again, and then we see the world's rights are going away. Economically, places are falling apart. Ebola's flying throughout the air. So's radiation from Fukushima. Any calamity that you could think of has befallen this place. It's because now everyone has claimed to be a preacher. Everyone's a prophet. Everyone's a prophetess. But in reality, there are folks who are false prophets. There are witches and warlocks. There are evil people who are out here who do not have the Father's Spirit, and no matter what you can do, or they will not change their ways, because there's a spirit that must be delivered. But this place that's called not only America, but just the powers of this world that are run by Neanderthals and the children who fell from heaven, the children of the fallen angels, and a conglomeration of different entities that came from these fallen angels, and as they had a sexual union with women and goats and cats and dogs and whatever you could think of, and now they are sprouted up as entities throughout this globe, throughout the Father's planet. So how do you combat? How can you stand in these last days? And so what the Father has allowed for folks to do is to claim, I got power, I'm a preacher, or I'm a prophetess. He's allowed for folks to do that. But at the end, when it's all said and done, the preachers are going to preach. As you see in my hat here, Kofa, come out from among her, training evangelists for apocalyptic ministry. That's what the acronym stands for. And so I pray that this is what I can be able to fulfill the calling on my life to do. Brothers and sisters, I'd like for you to turn with me to the book of Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter, and we will begin reading at the 18th verse. This is what it says. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. Brothers and sisters, that's the Father's Spirit speaking through Moses, said that I will bring you your brother, but your Messiah, Yahushua. And all that he says, listen to him. So this is why the word says, if we are to serve our Father, and through the Father is the Word. In the beginning was the Father, the Word, and the Spirit. And all three agreed in one. And then the Word came down and dwelt among flesh. Yahushua didn't make the world. The Word made the world. But the Word dwelt in Yahushua. And so when Yahushua was on the earth, he came into the children of Israel, and we hung our brother, the Word, on a tree. Our brother was Yahushua. The Word came down from heaven, dwelt in flesh, and thus we hung our Father, the Word, on a tree, because we didn't like the message that Yahushua, our brother, that was prophesied he would come, would give us. So when we look at verse 19, it says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken to my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. Brothers and sisters, we have brothers, we have men, we have women today who hear the Father's word but not with their heart in their hearts. And they think that their life, the way they live or what they think they've accomplished, will speak for them when they go to heaven. And not understanding that in them is a foul, demonic, nasty spirit that all it wants to do is commit adultery, fornication, murder, and rape. But then yet some behavior modification, some good deeds, being nice to people, that's not going to do it. But guess what? They don't believe it until the day comes. And so, brothers and sisters, the Father will prove himself. And so when you recognize in that 19th verse is that we have to obey our Father's word. Yahushua said, if you love me, keep my commandments. How do we know that we love the Father? That his words are not grievous unto us. And so this is why when you have outside entities come into your life, no matter where you're listening to this message at, you know you feel grievous when you see somebody come. They don't love the Father. They don't even know his word. But then yet they want to tell you something. And you say, I don't go around you. But yet you come here. Why? There is a spirit, brothers and sisters, that draws men and women, witches and warlocks alike. And as I read this verse, I'm reminded, as a 7-year-old child combating witches. Yeah, you're exaggerating. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Witches gaining up. Not just one witch, witches coming, saying incantations over you so that you and those who are like you will be destroyed. And the Father said, listen, there are those of you right now who are facing these things, facing demonic attacks, facing people casting spells on you. And there's no one's going to come and rescue you. Now, it'd be great if you had some brothers and sisters or people who are going to say, don't worry, I'll pray over you, I'll make sure these things don't happen. A lot of times you have to ask the Father to come and cover you. Because these people who are taken over by spirits, evil things, their goal is to take you away from the word. Now, our battle's not against flesh and blood. Folks, you mad at me or you disrespect. No, I ain't mad at you. When you entertain a spirit that is wicked and no good, I don't care. What did Yahushua say? When his mother was outside and his brothers and sisters wanted to speak with Yahushua. What did Yahushua say? And listen, this has cost me my wife, my children, and anyone else in my life who think they can bring a worldly spirit up in here, a nasty spirit, and then do what they've always done in their lives. You can't do it. Not here. Not with me. Because I'm talking to the spirit. Right now, I'm not mad at my children. I'm talking to that spirit that has the audacity to walk around them. I ain't talking to my loved ones. I ain't talking to my friends. I ain't talking to my mom or my dad. I'm talking about that wicked spirit that want to sit up in there. No. You got to be bold, brothers and sisters. You have to love our Father with all our heart, mind, and soul. Why? Because we're coming to the conclusion of days where you don't, and when I finish reading Deuteronomy, you'll understand. That's why I don't go out here trying to prove anything to folks. I just let them know. You'll know who's a preacher, who's not. And you won't be able to stand before the Father and say, well, I didn't know this person was a preacher. Then the Father would say, look at what they've said, look what they've done. And if they were a liar, what they said wouldn't come true. So let's go to verse 20. But the prophet, which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. See, brothers and sisters, if the Father, there are those who speak a word that they don't even have the Father's Spirit at all. They know they don't have the Father's Spirit, but for some reason they think their knowledge and their understanding is greater than the word of the Father. And so then this is why we see witches and warlocks. This is why we see young children tortured by spirits, because folks don't stand up to them. The reason why I remember when I was younger, I see these witches and warlocks. They take bodies of animals, and now I understand why. That's why I really studied it through all my life. I was like, what was befalling me? Father said, I protected you. Don't worry about it. And I mean, when I was younger, and but then I said, then as I started growing the Father's grace and knowledge in the wisdom of His Word, I started researching more in my 20s. I'm saying. Because I mean, when I was younger, I was like saying, what is this? What is this dead skunk in my mailbox? Drained with blood, drained from blood. What is these dead animals? What is this, the Star of David, I thought, circle around and dead fish and all these dead things around. And then I'm like, and then, he said, well, no, I better not say anything. But brothers and sisters, that mentality cannot follow you all the days of your life. You got to stand up against it. You got to call it out. Let others hide it. Let others try to cover it up, but not you. You're the children of the Most High. You got to stand against this wickedness, because wickedness, it thrives in darkness. The more you hide it, the more it thrives. And then when you think it's dead and gone, and then later on you see it creep up again. I said, oh snap, that's the demon I saw when I was 7. Oh, that's the demon I saw when I was 14. That's the demon I saw. Because folks don't think you can see them. You can see the spirit if you walk with the Father. And brothers and sisters, this is what I'm saying to you. Many people are playing games. I had guys with me at Kofa for years, petrified now, because everything that was prophesied to come is coming, and they didn't believe. They just like to get in front of y'all and talk. But now they're nervous, frightful, ill-prepared for the days that are ahead. They call on the Father, and the Father don't answer them, so they can't see, they don't understand, or they don't believe. Because when there are people who speak, but what they speak, they don't speak from the Father. So they're reporters, and they are not preachers. They are not sent by the Father. So you got to be bold with this word, brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter who it comes against, because brothers and sisters, don't get your battle's not against flesh and blood. Now there are those who in the flesh and blood who may get mad at you. Let them do that. I get frustrated by the evil spirit that continuously, do the okey doke on folks. I mean, it's when you're in the 70s and it's evil spirits come, 80s, same evil spirits in the same rolling the same entities or bodies. And then the 90s, same spirit, 2000. And look, you had to no, not up in here, because the spirit of evilness, of wickedness, it travels through. In some ways, some people are born with a manifestation of evil spirits in them. Then evil spirits can visit people, and then if you entertain them, they'll come in and sojourn with you. And then there are other evil spirits that are sent upon you to capture you. And brothers and sisters, as when you look in the book of 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter, you'll see that the Father took his spirit away from Saul and sent an evil spirit after Saul. And many of you who may not be learning, or you say, all right, that's the evil, that's wrong. Yahweh would never do that. The Father would never do that. The Most High would never do that. Yes, you don't know what you're talking about. Just keep on listening. But the reality of it is, brothers and sisters, is that this time right now, the false prophet, those who practice wickedness, those who benefited from this nasty satanic Luciferian system, they will double down on the system. They will forsake the Father. They will ignore his word. It doesn't matter what blessings the Father may give the people. Doesn't matter what miracles that he does in their lives. Doesn't matter if he takes care of them. The pride of life feeds a wicked spirit, and that wicked spirit gets more powerful. And so remember, your battle's not against flesh and blood, it's against that spirit. So you have to stand against that spirit. And you can't have reverence for an evil spirit. You can't humble down to an evil spirit. So you have to make sure that you're dealing with it. When you're dealing with the evil spirit, tie that bad boy up by the neck spiritually. But if it's in someone that is someone that you love or you have to respect, make sure you do that, because your battle's not against flesh and blood. It's against that wicked spirit that they entertain. Now, when you look at verse 20, he says, but the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. So, brothers and sisters, that's why I'm saying you will see massive death of men and women, for they claim to speak from the Father, and their lives are nowhere near reflective of it. For what they say, that's why many of these dudes are very careful about doing prophecy. They don't do any prophecy. They do reporting. Once Obama's in office a second term, and you see the world's ready to collapse, oh, Obama's the false prophet. Well, be honest with you, smart dude, do that. But don't act like the Father spoke to you and told you that. Because if he did, he would have told you that well before the man became president. because the Father's Spirit is not a reporter. It tells you what will be. That's the spirit of prophecy. Now, verse 21 says this, and if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Father Yahweh hath not spoken? Verse 22 says, when a prophet speaketh in the name of the Most High, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Most High had not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. So you don't be afraid of nobody who don't have, he speaks something and then it doesn't come to pass. You don't be afraid of nobody like that, because they don't speak from the Father. These are just a bunch of harlatans and false prophets and liars and thieves. Brothers and sisters, I've said to you back in 2000, at the end of 2007, and then I put in a message in February 2008, and many of you who know me, you know that you've probably heard it before. But there's a message that you could go back and play as a podcast on our website at kofa.com, www.kofa.com. You'll see that at the end of this presentation that the Father said, why do they want Barack Obama? Now this is a year, or more than a year before the man became president of the United States, and said that, no, why? Because he's the man of sin. He's the conclusion of time. This is the leader that will bring the conclusion of the world. And even when I did that, and then I put it in a film called The End of the Gentile Rule, The Unseen World, The End of the Gentile Rule, most people I knew, I don't know anybody who didn't vote for Barack Obama, even folks who are part of Kofa family, but how do you know if someone is called from the Father? See, what they say should come to pass. And so in this mini message to you, brothers and sisters, I just want to say to you is that you're dealing with a spirit. And this clip that you see playing here, and you see the young man wakes up in terror. You see that he's sleeping. And there, you could believe it or not, but the spirit, I've seen people deal with this. I've gotten phone calls 2 o'clock in the morning screaming, demons doing exactly what you're looking at here. That the demon turned over this man, woman, I'm not sure it was his wife, whoever it was, turned over this man, put him butt up. And as you see, the pants, the drawers, they're pulling down, and then the guy feels something enter him. Now, these are things that happen quite a bit. The spirit's called incubus and succubus. What came after him, even though succubus is a woman, but these things are interchangeable. It looked like it was an incubus, a male demonic entity that tried to enter this man. And so, what good would it be if I went to the man or somebody went to that man and said, "What's wrong with you?" and browbeating, because there is an attraction that these incubus, these succubus, these demons that they do. Something that has transpired has made this man an open prey. And brothers and sisters, this what has occurred to many people. They're open prey. And some people are more open to the spirit of lust. Some people are open up to the spirit of fear. Some people are and the worst one you can have is the spirit of pride. Because typically speaking, when someone is full of pride, death is right around the corner for many of these people. And if they think that and right now folks are, well, if I go to hell, I go to hell. That is just the ignorance of the mind of anybody who has a tongue. Because the reality of it, brothers and sisters, is that we're reaching a time now where men and women will go to and fro, where the economy will continue to drive to a point where it will hit you by shock. It will hit you by shock. You won't be able to get any money out your banks. You won't be able to get food from the grocery store. Your lights in your home won't work. And you will panic. And then when you call on your government, your mountains, and you cry for your religious institutions, which are your hills, and they don't come see about you, that's when many of you are going to say, I need to get out of here. I need to Kofa, the bomb letter right there. But you're not ready. You're not prepared. You're not trained. Now, many of you say, well, I don't need to be because I'll come and you'll find yourself doing things that's been hiding in you. And you'll find, and many people, I'm prepared for them. Many folks will kill, steal, and destroy to get what they have not prepared to get or not prepared to have. So consequently, brothers and sisters, I'm training evangelists for apocalyptic ministry. So when I say to you that the real ministry or the full ministry of Kofa, of Team Kofa, hasn't come forth yet, this is all preparation, well, the name will let you know what I'm preparing for. And so there are a lot of folks right now who say, nope, I like this, I want to take advantage of this and live my life full. All right, watch this. I don't use foul language. Now you may say, well, Yahya, what you're about to say is a curse. If folks do not hear this, or if they hear it and they reject it, what 2 Thessalonians, the second chapter says, I utter out of my tongue. And I won't turn to it because you don't, when somebody uses, well, get out of here, you effer, that's foul language. That is not a curse. This is my prayer. And I'm going to repeat this prayer, and then we're going to end. Because, brothers and sisters, I'm going to come to you with these kind of messages. I need to set you up and let you know that it is a spirit that is upon you in your home. It's a spirit that may even hold your hand some days. And not every spirit is righteous. Most of these spirits are wicked, evil, satanic, Luciferian, the offspring of Neanderthals. The Father has no place for them in heaven, and hell ain't made for them, so they wander the world. And then you have folks calling on these demons, these fallen evil things, to do their bidding. And now, when all the things come to a head, they'll turn on you. They'll turn on you. So, and why will they turn on you? Well, in 2 Thessalonians, the second chapter, this is what it says. And this is my prayer for those who turn their back on our Father. 2 Thessalonians, second chapter. And starting at the 9th verse. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned, who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. In the name of Yahushua, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Brothers and sisters, I will be doing messages like this, and they'll be a little more vivid. But I just thought I'd introduce you to what I'm going to be doing, coming to you, explaining the deep, dark, lying, evil, wickedness, spirituality that hovers around each and every one of you. And if you saw what walked with you, because many of you know that you said, wow, I'm thinking evil. Wow, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do this wickedness. You think that there's nothing walking with you. And if you did, you'll faint. You have a heart attack. If you could see the evilness that's walking with you. We're going to get into that more on our next segment. I'm going to come to you as often as I can. Who knows how often I'll do a video, but I will do a video more often than I've done before. And I pray that you brothers and sisters in your study, get your study on, and go look at Hebrew, the so-called Negro. I did back in 2006. The Unseen World, the End of the Gentile Rule. I did that. It said 2007, but it was released 2008. The Children of the Angels, the Garden of the Cave. Go check that out. Your fathers have taught you lies. Check it out. The one after the 10, the man of sin. Check it out. Brothers and sisters, I pray that you check out all the videos that the Father has given me to do. And recognize it. The death of the ego, the birth of a man. What man? The man of sin. These are the things that you will have more than enough time to view if you're able to download these videos, because many of you will be running, you'll be hiding, and you'll be seeking a place of safety. I know. I've said it before, and I ain't walk around. You say, well, how long? You gonna say it for the next 50 years? No, I'm saying it to this man of sin. I told you he ain't going nowhere. And I said it to you before he was the president. And I say it to you now. You will see this man of sin here until Yahushua crack the skies. Brothers and sisters, I pray this message has been helpful to you. Don't let the ways of life wash you away. This is your brother, I pray, Yahya Bandele, saying, Shalom.
They know they must flee when I'm in town.